I'm Sia, a somatic movement facilitator, and today I'm going to introduce you to the somatic movement exploration of the womb. Before we begin in practice, there are a couple of things you should know. First of all, self-care. If you notice that you are overwhelmed, understimulated, or underwhelmed, just pause for a second and change your body position. If you were sitting, stand up. If you were lying, sit down. And if you were with closed eyes, open your eyes. So it will help you to return back to reality and prevent checking out. Another thing is there is no right or wrong in somatic movement practices. Everything you do is right. It's a ground rule. And the last but not the least, I often receive a question: what if I feel nothing? I want you to remember, nothing is also a sensation, and it's okay to be with that. Something might come up later or not. Silence is also a form of contact. And give yourself permission for this practice to feel, sensate, sound, and move. And let's start with observing your surroundings. What do you see? What do you hear? How can you make the space more comfortable for yourself? Maybe you want to change body position, lights. Maybe you need a blanket or a cushion. Notice the surface that you touch with your feet or your pelvis, maybe your back. Is there any movement that arises right now that can make you even more comfortable at this moment? Is there any sound? And we are practicing today the connection with the womb. And if you don't have this organ, if it was removed, your body still has a memory of it. So you can still do this practice and rely on the sensations that will arise. And touch is one of the ways to connect with yourself, with any system of yourself. And you can do a self-touch with your hand or with a pillow, a blanket, or even imagine a touch. And you can place your one hand on the area of the womb, and I encourage you to be intentional in your touch. Imagine that you are petting a dog or hugging a kid, or just in general giving contact to someone you love. So that presence in your touch sends a message that I care for you, I love you. And we will move our attention through the layers of our body to come to the organ. And feel your hand touching your clothing or skin. What is the temperature? What are the textures? What can you sense with the entire surface of your hand? And gradually move your attention to a little deeper layer of under the clothing, to the very surface of your skin. Notice if your attention changes. And when you move deeper in your touch, what are sensations? Is there any movement here? Sound. And gradually see how you can move a little bit deeper under the upper surface of the skin, into the layers of dermis, fascia, fat. Maybe your touch wants to change. Maybe you want to move hand or place both hands. Change the amount of pressure. How can you use your attention to go to a deeper layer where there are many vessels, capillaries, nerve endings, connective tissues? Is there any change in your breathing? Body tone? And you can touch the entire layer of this body, not just the area where the hand is. You can sense your whole body right now. And we'll go a little bit deeper into layer of the muscles. And muscles are a continuous shell around the body. They brace us in several layers, like a nice tight hug. We hug ourselves with muscles. So how can you shift your attention to the muscles layer? And some layers may be easy, accessible, easy to imagine, to sense, and some layers might be not that easy to access. We are not judging how do we do that path. We simply observe what comes into the sensations through the touch. We're just collecting our experience. And experience today might be different from experience tomorrow. And how do you feel? How do you recognize the layers that surrounds your womb? You're not yet touching the womb itself. You're touching the fascia that covers it. And we can invite, by touch, more freedom, more space to this area, if it wants more space, or maybe we can provide a support, as if we were giving the container through the touch. And now, bring your attention to the womb. What happens with your attention? What do you experience in your body, in your senses? And try to find a movement in all three planes from the womb. Back and forth. You can slide your womb forward and backward along other organs, right and left, along the surrounding tissues, and trying to find the movement from inside the organ. And the spiral is our third plane. And you can release the touch and allow the womb move you through the space, allowing it to move your pelvis, your whole body. What does it feel like to move from the womb? What do you want to do? How do you want to move? And you can stop video here and give yourself a little bit more time if you feel like that. Or you can find your own closure of the practice. How would you like to finalize it? And we'll do some reflection on the paper. It may be writing on the questions I will suggest, or it can be just your personal reflection or coloring the paper. And try to write everything that comes, staying in touch from the womb. We continue practice through the writing and naming things. And what sensations do come from your womb? What sensations do I encounter in my womb? What feelings, emotions do arise when I am in the womb? Are there any sounds, sights, memories, stories, fantasies come when I'm in my womb? When I am in my womb, do I get the feeling of what I need? What do my womb want? Are there any dreams in this area? And maybe, is there a message, some words from the womb to you or to the world? And how can you now return to yourself, kind of integrate to yourself, become a whole self with the womb now, maybe shaking, maybe changing position in the space. And notice what have changed when you're returning back to a whole, complete picture of your body. How do you feel about your womb right now? You just heard what it needs. How do you currently see it? Is there any response coming from you right now? Maybe you have something to say to your womb. Some final feelings, final sensations, and we'll take a minute to be in compassionate witnessing with this process. Just using compassion to witness your womb as a part of you, as you. And again, you can complete it at any time if you feel like it. You can pause here and stay a little bit longer. And to bring yourself back, is there anything you need to move right now or to sound? Look around and notice what do you see, what do you hear. Feel the surface. And pat yourself on the back for doing this practice, to give yourself such a precise attention. Thank you. And when you write comments and your personal experience, when you share with me, it supports me to keep going.